Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast, the Niele podcast. My name is Rayray.
I'm Shania.
And today we are here with our uncle, Misi.
Round of applause. Okay, so let's hear like an introduction of yourself. Name, age, occupation, where you live, where you fall in the order of the Tupe brothers.
My name is Misi Tupe. What I do for work, I am currently coaching at Utah Tech for football. That's my occupation at the time. And I am 41.
Oh, so we were literally like...
Yep, I'm 41
I
years
didn't
old.
believe that. I didn't believe it.
we were talking. Who were we talking to? Uncle Prince.
Yeah, we were talking to Uncle Prince.
Because like talking about the
He's
age
like
gap.
40. I was like, no way, he's not 40.
I know everyone on the team is like, Coach, are you like 35 or something? I was like, yeah.
That's right.
So that's good though.
And then where do you
40 years
fall
old.
in the family?
So I am 4. So Prince, Lorenzo, Prince, 3, me.
Third from the youngest.
3rd from the youngest. Yeah, and then Sini.
So jumping right in, where were you born?
Okay, so I was born in American Samoa at LBJ Hospital.
Okay.
I think my mom said it. Mom said it was 13 pounds or something.
You're lying.
I'm not lying. So that's what I heard. I think everyone was
Like high?
above 10.
What? Oh my gosh.
Yikes.
But I was the heaviest one, so.
That is so crazy.
Uh,
Okay, so what was your earliest memory that you have?
my earliest memory of back home?
Yeah.
Shoot, my earliest memory is just, I think is just hiding from grandma. Just because every Saturday was a cutting grass in the mountains. And so we were trying to hide under the tables, under the beds, to be the last one to be found. But that was because we didn't want to work. And so that's why we were hiding from Grandma Lava. That was the main one that we were hiding from. Because if you get caught, you're going to be up there till like noon. And she was always looking around at like 5:30. She's always up.
Oh, in the morning.
In the morning, because it gets hot. So that's the earliest child memory that I had of growing up in Samoa. It's just, that's all I could think of is just grandma growing up.
What was it like growing up there? Like, what was your childhood like?
Oh, man. My childhood was just a lot of sports. I was always the one tagging on with Shingy everywhere he was going. So like, I was in primary. I mean, I was playing with the Deacons with Shingy and them. What else? It was just hanging out with friends that were in the neighborhood. Like we couldn't go to the next village just because everyone in the village would just hang out together. And the childhood was fun, but it was also hard because you didn't have any toys, right? So like for me, looking back at it now, it's like, man, it was hard, but at the same time, it was fun because you were looking for things to play around with. I mean, trees and you making it
branches.
Yeah, branches. You're making it into little carts. So you probably been hearing all these stories too growing up. That was it. That was a childhood growing up.
What is your favorite memory of your parents, your grandparents, and then like with your brothers in Samoa?
So growing up in Samoa was always, I don't remember my older brothers just because they were already older and they were already in Hawaii at the time. And so growing up was just usually me, Sini, and Dorian. I just remember Dorian in high school. And so Jay and Bean, they were already in Hawaii at the time. And so I just remember, those memories of my brothers was just getting salsa every time.
My dad told me that.
So that was the memory. It's just like me and Cena usually most of the time was just we would swim on Sundays. Mom them would say no swimming on Sunday, but we would sneak out and swim, and I don't know how they would catch on, but when they come home they see us wet, like clothes hanging up, so we're like getting smacked. And then Dorian, childhood with Dorian is just, I think he got caught sloughing class or something with a group of his buddies. And I think Dad came home because I think I was like fifth grade or sixth grade. And I remember like my dad just going after him, like under the trees, like he was running around. I'm like, dude, is this real? Like, I don't know what's going on. Yeah, like we were all outside. Those are childhood memories, like growing up with Dorian and Cini, and then just with my parents, and just with Grandma Le'emo and Grandma Lave and them was just, they were always hardworking people, and so there was all that taught us the definition of hard work and what it means, of waking up in the morning and just picking leaves off the ground. So that's like childhood memories of Grandma. With my brothers, Singy can probably attest to you. He stole my bike.
Oh, really?
And I ran out of the house. I grabbed a rock. First thing I grabbed was a rock. I just chucked it. He was riding down the dirt road, and it hit him right there. So that was one memory I remember of singing. We would always go at it. We were always arguing. So that was a fun memory of those guys. But those are some of the childhood memories that I had.
What was like the worst or like hardest part of your childhood? Not like it doesn't have to be the worst, but like hardest.
You know what? I don't think it was hard. I think it was just growing up, not used to having anything, right? And it's just you had to make it fun for what you have, and I think that was the best part about it. It was just, I don't think anything was hard, but everything was fun. I thought everything growing up was fun.
I had a good time.
I had a good time till you get whacked, but that was the best part. I don't think I had a hard time, I don't think I did.
Were you like sad when our dads left, or do you like really remember?
I don't think I remember much of it when they left. And plus I was so young. I was just like going to school, I was just so busy during going to school and just whatever that was going on. I think it's the hard part is I think I remember till this day when they left. I just came home and I just sat there. I was like, oh, okay, now there's only 3 of us, right? Like, what are we gonna do now? No, I thought they were just going on to hang out, on vacation. Like I didn't know they were gonna be gone. So that was hard. But other than that, everything was good. I enjoyed it.
Where did you go to school? Yeah. And like during what, like,
what
I mean?
year?
Yeah, like elementary school,
elementary.
middle school, high school.
Yeah, so I went to Alofao Elementary School, and I went to preschool. I remember preschool. It was like at this little hut in Auto, and they would just drop me off. I was like, wow, well, it is what it is, and they would just leave. And then elementary was in Alofao. I went there from what was it, first grade? First grade till I think 6, because I think I moved to Hawaii at 7. And so elementary was fun. It was chaos. Just because like you see kids get in a fight and they call you in the front of the office and they freaking pull your shorts down and whack. You're like, oh, I'm not doing that. But it was fun though. That was like elementary year. And then we moved to Hawaii, and that's what happened.
What schools did you go to in Hawaii?
So I was at Waimea. I was at Waimea Intermediate.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm intermediate. I was there 7th and 8th grade, I think. Shoot, that was fun. The 7th and 8th grade year was there's some cool stories that happened. I got suspended from
Oh,
intermediate school.
Really?
Yeah.
for what?
So actually, this is a funny story. So it was so you know how they have what is it? It's like a what is the thing called? Like a Mayday? Is it Mayday?
Yeah.
So they had Kahlua. They cooked Kahlua, and one of the kids was pushing the Kahlua, like the whole case of it. They were pushing it from the main office to take it to the gym.
Whoa.
That's so far away.
I know. So I just walked by. I didn't think anyone was looking,
Oh,
and I just
no.
grabbed some, and I was just eating it.
He said,
And so they suspended me
What?
for. They call Uncle Tivo now because that's why I was living with Uncle Tivo. And so they suspended me from school for a day. They had to call Uncle Tivo. And they're like, dude, you got suspended for eating a Kahlua pig? I was like, I didn't know you were supposed to eat them. So that was a cool story out there. And at Mill, the first time I played football was there. And for the Cowboys.
"Oh, the little league."
Yeah, the Little League. And so I had to
Hi, Cutie.
that's it. I had to lose weight, and I can remember Coach Bronson had to take me to what do you call those, like weight loss steam room,
Oh.
Whoa, really?
just so I could lose weight to play.
What?
So that was intermediate right there.
Oh my gosh, what the heck?
So it was rough, but
Funny
it's
story
fun.
about Uncle Misi. Me and Shania both went to that middle school too.
And we had the same
They're-
teacher.
Same teacher.
Boy, yeah.
Yeah.
He talks about Uncle Misi like he was here.
All the time.
Oh,
He was the
man.
number one football player ever. Like me and Shania had nothing on this guy. We could have gotten straight A's in that class.
Did they?
And there would have been nothing.
Boyette was awesome. He was a former BYU guy.
Oh, was he? I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
So he played at BYU, and he was the one. So before I left, he got me into HPA.
Oh.
And so he's like, hey, I'm going to get you in there. I'm going to get you to go to HPA and play football there. So I went on they have like a little trip, like a day trip there.
Uh-huh.
I didn't even know you have to pay. He was just like, dude, I'll do my best to get you in there. I was like, all right. So I went there on a day trip just to hang out and just check it out. I didn't know how cool it was. It was pretty impressive. Because it's a private school, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it was but after that year is when we moved to Utah.
Oh, man.
So
So you did no high school in Hawaii?
I didn't do any high school in Hawaii. Yep. I came up here for freshman year. No, I think it was the ending of my 8th grade year because we came in like spring. Was it spring? Yeah, middle spring. And then I came straight going into school here. I was straight 5.
He said, do you understand?
I couldn't understand anything. That was the hard part. I couldn't understand English. You gotta go, Mom. You gotta go to Mom.
You're so cute.
So
What was your high school experience like?
my high school experience, high school. So I was down at Orem for my 9th grade year with Uncle Martin
Whoa.
and Muli and them.
Okay.
So beginning of 9th grade year, I moved in with them. When we first moved from Hawaii, I moved straight to Uncle Martin's house.
Oh, whoa.
And so when I moved there, I was in Provo or Orem area,
Mm-hmm.
and Uncle them were like all, what was it? Monique and Veen at the time they're all in Ogden area, and so it was hard for me. It was like I was getting homesick,
Yeah.
especially when they come and watch the game. That was the hardest thing. But I was there for not even the whole year, half of the year, and then I moved up to TH Bell.
Oh.
So when I went to Bell, I got to Bell my 9th grade year, and then I went to, as soon as I was done with TH Bell, I went to Bonneville. Then I went to Bonneville for 4 years, and that was fun. High school was good. 9 to.
at Bonneville, was there a teacher that like impacted your life?
Like the teacher that impacted me the most, I think was Boyette at the time, growing up, because he helped me adjust to the U.S. life, you know. And he was like, "Don't worry about anything that's going on. You know, just be you. Don't be somebody else that you're not." And so I think for me, it was just like, that's how I fell in love with football too, because all he talked about was football. And then, you know, he was just talking about life, you know, what's going to happen when he moved to the U.S. and things like that. And when he was the one that impacted me the most, and I'm truly grateful for him, because he was I think, is he still teaching there?
I don't know.
I think he is. Huh? He retired.
I think he retired.
But shit, I'm grateful for him. But as far as Bonneville, I think the head coach, Tom Budge, he's passed away, but he taught me a lot. I mean, he pretty much taught me football. You know, it's like, because he was the one that was the main coach that was telling me, hey, just stick with it. You know, something's good is gonna come out of it. I was like, all right, dude, whatever you say. Okay. So I had his math class. I got a lot of help from him through math. But I think Tom Budge is one of those guys that helped me out a lot in there. There was quite a few people. May Mia was one of them. Was our athletic director at the time. She was a big help, because I had to do 400 plus hours.
Oh my gosh.
Of missing class.
Right.
And so she was awesome though. May Mia was the best. She was the one that helped me out with weekly work that I had to do at school. And so, I mean, those are probably the three that helped out the most.
Do you feel like you were like rebellious, or do you feel like you were like a rule follower?
A rebellious or what?
A rule follower?
A rule follower. Shoot, I follow the rules.
I don't break rules.
I follow them, but I also bend some rules. Hey, you two did too.
We don't talk about that right now. We're talking about you.
Yeah, I think I follow the rules, but I also know when to bend it a little bit. You know, when I need some help here and there.
Do you remember the choir teacher there?
The choir teacher.
Because she remembers you. Because when I went there for my senior year, she mentioned you.
That's Mrs. Kirby.
Yes, Kirby.
Yeah, because Mrs. Kirby, her husband was the filmer.
Oh, really?
He's the one that does all the highlight. But Mrs. Kirby was awesome.
She said, "He had a voice of an angel."
Whoa, chill. Chill.
Hot take. That's a hot take.
That's crazy.
Hot take. Okay, so did you feel pressure when it came to football with like following in my dad and Uncle Jay's like footsteps?
No, I don't think I felt pressured into it, because I didn't know what their plans were when they were in Hawaii. Does that make sense? Like, true. I don't know what their accolades were, right? So I didn't really, like, all I knew was growing up was like with the semi-pro league, like they were playing, right? But everyone talked about, like, Uncle Jay and Uncle Lavinia was like the dudes at Honokaa. Like, those guys were like, they hated each other on the field, but loved each other off the field. And they were both like all conference, like big time in Hawaii. And so for me, I didn't really know what about them for football. But so I didn't really feel pressured to impress anyone. For me, it was just, they just kept saying, "Hey, let's go." Like, they were just, yeah, they were just like fire, dude. They were just like that light that just like motivated me every time to go to play hard. And so it was Jay, it was Dorian, it was Veen, and it was Uncle Junior.
Oh yeah.
So those four were always like, "Yeah, you need to do more." I'm like, "Dude, do more. What else is there?" But it was always those four. Like, they'd always be at the end of the football field, and they'll just cheer you on. Like when I come to the side, I'm tired. They're like, "What are you doing on the side?" I'm like, dude, let me get some rest. So, but it was fun though. Like I don't think I felt any pressure at all, but I just felt like they were more of motivators than, to help me get to where I'm at. So that's what I'm grateful for, is those 4 or 5 of those guys, because those guys were at every football game, like cold snow outside. Those guys shorts and jackets. I see Dorian's on the side just lighting it up. I was like, hey, you can't do that outside. So those guys are awesome. Like they've motivated me from freshman all the way to senior year. So those guys are my dogs right there.
So would you say that like football has always been like your dream?
Yeah. Football's always been a big part of my life, right? And so it's taken me to places that I've never been. And so that's why I'm grateful for my parents, for mom and dad, for my brothers, and Uncle Junior, them for just motivating me to, do your best and to never stop. And those, I can't forget about those guys, because those guys are the ones that made it happen for me. Because without them, shoot, I don't know what I'd be doing right now. So that's what's good about those guys.
What were you looking forward to the most for after you graduated? And what were like your eyes set on for your plan?
Shoot, my plans were like, it was everywhere.
When you graduated high school.
Oh, graduated high school.
High school.
When you
Sorry.
graduated high school. We'll get into the college.
We'll get that. We'll get that.
What was my goal? My goal was to go to play college. That was my goal going to after graduating. And one of the other goals I had was to go on a mission. But I wanted to test the waters first in college football and see what I could do. And so after high school, I signed at University of Utah. I went there for a semester. I was trying to pass my SAT test at the time. I think I had one more chance to pass it, and I didn't pass that test. I think it was while I was up there. So I took that test while I was up at the University of Utah. I didn't pass that test, and I was just like, what am I going to do now? The coach was like, dude, we're going to prop you, take a year, and then we'll play you the following year. I was like, nah, by the time I'm done, I'm going to be like 28 or something.
He said that's so old.
So I went home. I prayed about it. I left school and got ready for my mission. And so I went on a mission, and that was for the 2 years.
So where did you go on your mission?
I went to Philippines, to Olongapo. So I got called, and best year ever, 2 years. It was exciting. It was a lot of learning. Learned about myself, what I can and can't do, and just serving others. What I love the most about it is, is just making sure that someone else is taken care of instead of myself. And so that was the best part.
Do you have like a favorite memory or a favorite place that you were at on your mission?
Yeah, sure. I think my favorite memory is my first area. I got a baptism, baptized this young man that was there, and I couldn't get a hold of him throughout the whole mission. And then my last area, I served like next to the area I served in the first area, and because I was trying to write him letters, but he wasn't returning any of it. And so by the time I got to the last area, I found out that he was the second counselor in the young men. And so it was, to me, that was the best feeling ever, right? Because you're like, man, I don't know what's going to happen, right? If he's going to just get baptized and walk away from the church or whatever happens, but just to see the fruits of your labor throughout the whole year, 2 years that you're there, and see it come, 100%. It's awesome. It's a great feeling. And so that was that was probably one of the best memories I had. Was being out there on a mission, was just being able to see the people change, and just see that at the end. It's like, man, this is money right here. So it was cool. It was awesome.
Did you have a favorite companion when you were there?
Oh yeah, my trainer was awesome.
Oh.
Elder Blade. I still get in contact with him now. He's with his family. He's a dentist in California right now. But he was awesome. He taught me so much about the mission. Just because there it's kind of like Samoa. It's like everyone's eating off the land, living off the land. And so it's like,
off a grid.
Yeah, live off grid. It's like, man, you get paid like 10 pesos for like 12-hour work or a bag of rice. And so you learn to love those people. But Elder Blade was the one that's just Josh Blade was the one that helped me, just like, hey, forget yourself and just work, and just love the people. And so that's the best part about it, is just grow to love the people, and just you lose yourself in the work. So that was awesome.
What was life like for you when you came back from your mission?
Oh shoot. The first 2 months was rough, because I was trying to figure out what I was going to do. Right. I was like, okay, I was calling like different colleges just to try to get in. I tried to go to JUCO at Snow, and no one answered. So I called down here and to Croshaw, and Croshaw answers like, hey, just come down and check it out. And so that was like, I didn't think of anything else but football after my mission, because I was like, dude, I got to do something. I gotta figure it out. I gotta figure out what to do. And so I came down here. After, and got on the team, and just work my butt off. Everyone's like, dude, you can do it. Let's get it done. And it was the same guys that were there pushing me through again, man. They're like, oh, what are you gonna do? Play football or what? It's like, yeah, football is what we're gonna do. So we're gonna ride with it, see where it takes us. So that was it. It was go to school, get an education, and let the talent take you to where it needed to be.
What did you get your degree in?
So I got my AA here, Associate of Arts, from Dixie College, when it was junior college at the time, and then I got my bachelor's at Texas A&M in agriculture development.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I'm going back home to Sussex. Work the farm. I know.
What took you to Texas? Like, were you scouted? Did they come over here, or did you reach out?
Yeah. So this is crazy. My first year, I was just playing offense, right? I was in the offense. I was a running back at the time, and I went to Vegas. I left school. I didn't make it back on time for practice, so I pretty much sloughed practice. I came back, and the offensive coordinator said, hey, you're not on offense anymore. You're going to be on the defensive side, because I missed practice. I was like, and so I came back, and it's like, oh, you're done. But Croshaw was like, hey, just come on defense. You'll be on kickoff team, and just go from there. And so he brought me in, and it's like, like growing up in high school, I was playing rugby with Uncle Jay and them.
Grown men.
Yeah, grown men in high school. So, it's like defense was easy for me. So I already played it, but I went and played defense, and shoot, I was balling out and just having fun on defense, hitting people, and then I got some letters from a lot of schools. A&M was actually here. I think they were here looking at one of the other players. And then I was on the phone with him, and then he called me out of nowhere. It's like, hey, I'm going to be at your bowl game. So at the bowl game, he came and scouted me at the bowl game. And after the bowl game, he came up to me. It's like, hey, our head coach is on the phone. He wants to talk to you. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, this is all new to me. I was like, what the heck is this? So the head coach got on the phone. It's like, hey, our scout loves the way you play. We want to be we were recruiting you and we want to offer you a scholarship. I was like, what? So they offered me at our bowl game, one of our bowl game that was the Rotary Bowl. And so after that, I was like, all right, sounds good to me. I had 3 trips set up. Yeah, I had A&M set up, and then after A&M was Michigan State. So I was supposed to go to Michigan State after A&M, but I went to A&M and I fell in love with the people there. Just a tradition.
Decided.
No, and then I committed at the end of our meeting with the head coach. I said, "Hey, I'm in," and he said, "Okay, if you're in, you're gonna have to." He told me, you can't be able to, you're not gonna be able to go to the next trip that you set up. I was like, oh dang, but at the same time, I was like, dude, I love this place. This is good for me. I'm gonna commit. And so I had to call up Michigan State and say, hey, I can't make it over there. And so that was what made the trip to Texas A&M. So it was awesome.
Who is your life partner and how did you meet?
Oh, snap. Let's go. My life partner is Whitney Tupe, Whitney Webster. How we met. So this is crazy. So she was actually hanging out with some of the boys that were on the team. And I was with my best friend at his dorm. And we were just looking for people to hang out with. So I get on his phone. I was like, bro, I'm just going to call some random numbers on here. Just give me names and I'll start calling. So I start calling.
No way.
And then the second number was Wit. And I was like, what the heck? Who is this? So I was talking to her for a little bit. And then after I talked to her, I was like, dude, this girl sounds pretty cool.
She sounded cute. This is a reoccurring thing. This is a reoccurring thing.
Familiar.
Tupe brothers. Everybody will see this is a reoccurring thing.
Oh, shoot. So that's funny. So I think it was the next day. I think we were on the phone for like, I don't know how long. We were on the phone for a while. And so she was working at the stadium doing tickets. But I think it's the same game. It was a Saturday game. It was the same game that Uncle Dory and them were down here because Veen and Jay were playing at the school.
Oh.
And she was doing tickets.
Oh.
And so I was like, oh, shoot. I was like, hey, I'm going to roll up. Because we've never seen each other. We were on the phone for a long time.
Uh-huh.
And so, the first
what
time.
What year is this?
This was 05.
Okay.
Yeah, this was 05, so it was crazy. I walked up in there. I was like, crap, is that wet? Are you wet? I was like, you wet? She's like, yeah, that's me. I was like, oh, it's nice meeting you then. So from then on, we just start hanging out. But it was weird because at the same time, she just reminded me too. So there was another volleyball girl that was on their team. And I was kind of like, talking to her. And then we saw each other again at the basketball game. I think that's that same night or the night after the football game where Dorian and Veen and were playing. And so we were there and she's like, wait, you're with that girl? I was like, no, I'm just chilling with her.
No.
This is my friend. She's my friend.
We're all friends.
This is my friend, but I don't know. That was cool though. She's like, after that, we just started talking on the phone for a long time. The funniest thing was, I think it was, so they were living at the grandma's house. And so she was like, it was like, 2 a.m. or something like that. And we were still talking. And I guess the mom got up and she was on the phone. And the mom was like, what are you doing up so late? And Whit was like, I'm on the phone with the return missionary.
Oh my God. Nothing wrong. That's okay.
Yeah, so she's like, oh, okay. So that was, that was the story how we got together. But now we just started going on dates and just start hanging out. And so I left here to go to A&M for a whole year. And we just You know, she stayed back and played, and we had a long relationship from here, a long distance relationship, which was made it a lot stronger for both of us. You know, and so that was the best thing for me, was being focused, being out there at the same time, and have someone that's here that cared about me, and some games that they came out with. And so it was cool. Like, there was some times that I had a break, and I would just fly straight here. So I was hanging out with the family, and so it was good. That's how we met.
What was it about her that like drew you to her?
For me, it was just like, she was just relaxed, like chill. You know, it wasn't like high maintenance girls. Like, you're like, hey, hold up, like she would show up like just sweatpants, you know, a t-shirt, like sweater, like for me, it was like, oh, this girl is cool. I can hang out with her for a while. You know, and it wasn't like she had to put makeup on and all this. Like, she was just being her, you know. And so, and just meeting with her family, you know, got to meet with the family, and the parents are great people. You know, and so I was like, man, this is it. You know, I was like, I remember I was coming home from one of my trips, and I was like, dude, I don't know if I should do it or not. You know, I was going to propose to her. So I had to I came out here for one of I think it was like before the season even started. It was during, what was that, January or something like that? We were in here with the father-in-law, with my father-in-law and my mother-in-law, and I just said, hey, it was during the football game too. So everyone was excited. Everyone was happy. You know, I was
Everyone's
like, hey,
hyped.
yeah, I was like, I think this is the time. It was perfect time right now. So I said, hey, you know, I just want to see if you take your hand. I want to take your daughter's hand in marriage. You know, if that's your blessing and all this. And he's like, you know, oh, that'd be great. You know, that'd be good. And the mother-in-law stepped in and said, oh, that'd be awesome. It's just a good feeling to have support of the family. I went back to Texas. I came back here. I proposed, and it was awesome. I went back. I left again. And so I came back and then got married, and then we went back for my senior year.
What's your proposal story?
Yeah, how did you propose?
Oh, we were just at the temple. I'm a simple guy. Not I don't want no flowers or this, you know, so we just went there, and I just said, hey, you want to get married, dude? So we were just at the temple with the family. We just got done. I think we went and watched one of the brothers' basketball game or something like that. And then we were on the way home, stopped in front of the temple, and I just said, you know, I think you're the right one for me. I think I'm ready to take it to the next step. And that was it. There was nothing special. Like, it was just keeping it normal. So that was cool.
How long were you guys engaged? Like, how long was it from the time you proposed till like your wedding?
I think we were engaged for 3-4 months, but we knew each other for a while. Like, we started dating 2005, and we didn't get married until 2007. So 2 years?
2 years.
Yeah. So that was good. You know, learning about each other's family and learn.
Yeah.
So it was good. It was good 2 years, and but I think the engagement was 3 months before we got married. So it was fast. So I went there, went back, got the season done, and came back.
He said, okay.
Yeah, but it was good. I mean, the bowl game, this is a funny story. So the bowl game, I was supposed to fly to Samoa because the school paid for my ticket to go back home.
Oh.
And so Mom, Grandma at the time, and Grandpa were in Utah, but they were like, hey, we're going to pay for your ticket to go to Samoa because that's where you're from. You know, but one of our football ops guy was like, hey, we don't need to pay for you to go all the way to Samoa. We'll just give you the money. And the money was like $4 or $5 grand.
He said, okay.
So I was like, ching ching, now I know what the money's going to. So the money was going to the ring. That's what it was going to.
He said, oh, lovely.
That was it. That's how I got the ring, and then went in, and I was like, I'm ready to propose. Let's go. Let's get it done.
Like, wasn't there a time when, wasn't it the bowl game? I think it was Uncle Singy Or somebody flew out grandma and grandpa.
It was. That was the Alamo Bowl.
Oh, okay.
That was my senior year.
Okay.
Or it might have been a Holiday Bowl. Because they're like, hey, no one's coming. No, it's just the family that's coming in. I was like, I see you guys enough already. But I think mom and dad made it to one of the final games. Yeah, it was my junior year because they moved up during the senior year
Okay.
to Texas. So it was fun, man. Because I haven't seen mom and dad for a long time. And I remember that junior year, I think dad went down. I think dad had a heart attack in Samoa. And I remember just leaving practice and I was like, dude, I'm done. I'm not playing anymore. I was like, so I called mom. I said, hey, I'm coming home. Like the school said they're good with it. They can pay for it and we'll get there. And then I think dad got on the phone. I was like, you get over here. I'm going to get out of this bed and beat you. So I was like, all right, never mind. But that was like one of the lowest time in my life it's like I couldn't help grandpa out, I couldn't help dad out. And at the same time, it's like, I need to get home. Probably parents, I mean, you two know, it's just, you guys know, it's like, they rather have you do what you're doing, right, than coming home and just, because you come home and doing the same thing, and just being you, just doing the things that you do. But that was probably one of the lowest moment in my life. And at A&M was being able to, not help mom out with dad when he was down. But other than that, shoot, he was the man when he got on the phone and said, hey, if you come here, I'll get out of this bed and beat you up. Like, all right, say no more. So
was everybody living here when you got married, when it was like that time?
Yeah, yep. I think everyone was in Utah. I think you guys were still in Hawaii though. 07?
No.
You guys were here?
Yeah, because we danced the hula at your wedding.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. Everyone did, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Holy smokes.
Insert picture here.
Yeah. No, everyone was here. I think everyone moved here at the time.
What's your favorite memory of your wedding?
Favorite memory of my wedding? I think it's just seeing all our family together. Because it was a while. I think to me, it seems like, I think we always say it, right? All the brothers always say it. The only time we get together is when there's a funeral or a wedding, and it's like, we should just get together just for, right? Like just to hang out, instead of big occasions or sad opportunities when it happens. And that was the best part, is just seeing the whole family together.
What is something about your partner that you are the most grateful for?
I think her spiritual side is kind of like where I lack the most, because she's a strong woman. She knows what she wants, and the spiritual side of her is what I think is what keeps the marriage going right now. Because a lot of times I come home late from football, Saturday, and she's like, hey, if you can get up to go to football, you can get up to go to church.
Let's go.
So I was like, hey, all right, there we go again. But her spiritual side motivates me to be a better person. And just her willing to help. She's all about serving others. And so those two things are what attracts me to her and what motivates me to be with her forever.
How do you guys keep your relationship and connection strong?
Shoot, right now it's tough. It's tough because she's coaching, right? Because during the season, it's like the hardest time for us, because she leaves in the morning for work, and then I leave in the morning for work. So both of us are gone. And so I'm grateful for my two oldest girls, because they're always here kind of, and my boy and Alai, they're always the ones that's taking care of the younger ones when we're not home. And so for me, it's a blessing, right? Because that's what keeps us strong right now. But like this week as a bye week, it's kind of like, man, this is awesome. Spend time with family again. To have my 2 nieces here, it's a big plus right now for me and for my wife. I mean, I'm always grateful for family time, because I don't have that much family time, because I leave work, like, even in spring, like I leave work when they're asleep, and sometimes I come home and they're asleep. So I don't have that time of, to give them a kiss goodnight. I give them a kiss the only time I have is when I give them a kiss in the morning to say, when I leave for work. Rather than that, shoot, I'm like, what we do together, shoot, as a family, I think it's what we just did. We just went and played sand volleyball as a family,
cool.
And so that's what's, for us, it's just doing things together. Keeps us going and stay young. So,
well, speaking of children,
there you go.
Did you guys ever talk about how many kids you want?
Yes and no. I think, like, there were times, like, when we first got married, we were just like, all right, how many kids you want? I said 5 or something like that. Because she comes from a family of 7 kids, and so she's like, all right, and so now that we're at 6, it's crazy, because so this one, I don't know, like the last couple days, she's been saying, like, I want a little brother. Like, she's like, I have a little brother. I was like, you don't have a little.
Where'd you get that from?
Yeah, so it's like, I don't know. No, but Whitney's always, she's like, I don't know, last year or so, she's like, I feel like there's one more. But I was like, man, I'm 41 right now. I gotta hold on to this. But I think these guys 6 is a good number. But I mean, the Wood's also been wanting to adopt for a while. But I don't know. We don't know where we're gonna go with it. But I enjoyed my 6 right now. They're good. They're good to me.
How did you find out that you were going to be a dad for the first time?
Oh shoot! So we were at A&M at the time. So we were last year. It was my last semester there, and I came home. Whitney just got home off work, and I was at school finishing a paper. And I came home, and she was in the room, and she's like, "Hey." I think I don't know if she called me or not. I came home and she was in the room, and she's like, dude, I'm pregnant. I was like, oh, what the heck? Yeah, I was like, what? I was like, oh, shoot. I was like, all right, it is what it is. We just gotta get going, So we actually found out when we were at the house at A&M. You guys remember that house? And so that was the garage room. That's where we were, and that's where we found out. She found out from there. I guess she went and got a test. And so we just found out at, I think it was 07, 08 at the time. And so we found out, and we were excited. We were nervous at first, but like the more you think about it, you're like, oh yeah, we're about to have a kid, So we moved here, I think, a month later. And I think my mother-in-law was so excited for her to be back and to have a baby. So that's when we found out.
How did you feel when you found out that it was going to be a girl?
Ooh.
Being raised with boys your whole life. Were you scared when you found out? I thought it was
going to be a boy. I was like, nah, it's a boy for sure. We got a bunch of Tupe boys running around anyway, so it's going to be a boy. It's not a girl. When I found out it was a girl, I think it was here in St. George. We went there. And they're like, "Do you want to know what it is?" It's like, "No, I already know." It's like, you don't need to tell me. It's like, I already know what it is. But then they're like, "Oh, well, it's a girl." I was like, "Oh, jeez."
You should have known, Uncle V.
I know, right? Yeah.
You were bound to have
it was happening already. But it was awesome. Just having an older one as a girl, because you guys taking care of your siblings. It's the same thing with Paolo right now. You got to push her a little bit more, but kick her on the side. But she's getting there. It's awesome though.
Was it like the same feeling every time? Like you found out that you guys were having another baby?
Yeah. Oh, that was awesome. It's every time we found out, it was a great experience. I mean, I think the hardest one we had was with Sati. I think we were in Ephraim, and we went in and got checked, and they're like, "Hey," because Whitney was having some side pains for a little bit, and then that was a struggle for us. Was the doctor's like, "Oh, nothing's wrong, it's just you just have like some what do you call those? It's like stones or something like that,
Kidney stones?
kidney stones, and
Or gall?
yeah, kidney stones."
Oh, okay.
And Whitney was like, "No, this is not kidney stones," So we called down here. We called our doctor down here, and he's like, we're telling him all the symptoms, and they're like, "Hey, get in the car right now." And so it was pretty close that we made it here just in time to go to the doctor that day, because I think she had I don't know what it was, forgot what it was, but she almost didn't make it because of what with Sati, with her pregnancy. And so just because she had I don't know, I forgot what it was, but it was something in her bladder or something like that, like blood clot or something like that, that it was close to being dispersed in her body or something like that. But she almost didn't make it, and the baby almost didn't make it. And so that was the only time I felt like, oh, dude, this is, I don't know if we need any more, any more kids just from this experience, But other than that, she's been doing well. That's when she started blood thinners was with Sati. So that's the only time that I got nervous and got scared from the birth. I wasn't excited. I was like, dude, this is nerve wracking right now. So I think that's why his name is Awang Ne'ingalo Metinga. Don't forget all the pain.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's his middle name.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, so then going into that, how did you choose all of your children's names?
Oh, snap.
Snap. I got to remember all my kids'
Yeah.
names.
So it was actually singing and grandma. They're the ones that are like, hey, this is the family name. We just use the name and keep it in the family. And so that's how I chose all their name. I mean, Paulo's name is Tali Malie. And then we have Alai. Alai is grandpa's brother that passed away. You guys know that, right? His name was Kia.
Okay.
His Kia, but his real name is Alai. Yeah, so that's where Alai got his name from. And so Alai there, and then Satitoa is where grandpa's from. Lilia is part of grandma's family. And then Salafai is Sabai. Pretty much where mom's from. So that's how I got their name. Is I just talked to mom and Uncle Singy, and they're like, hey, I said keep it in the family. I don't want to go out. So it's been fun. It's been a blessing for me, because everywhere we go, like even when, like now, everywhere we go is like, hey, your kids' name are all Samoan kids. Names are like, well, have some more. Like, what do you want? Like, what do you want to name something else? Shoot. But it's good though. Yeah. They just gotta learn how to spell their names
and say their names.
and say
Paulo, I'm talking about you.
Yeah.
I'm Satitoa from Samoa.
It's crazy. Yeah, he does say that when we were in Savai, man. It's like, don't say that in Savai. That's not in Savai. So that's cool though.
What was it like when you saw like Paulo for the first time?
Oh man, it was so cool. Just to have your own. You created your own baby, and it was awesome. I think it was an exciting moment, but at the same time, it was like, dang, that's me. Like me to the T. Like, does that look like me? Holy smokes! But it was awesome. It was a good experience to see, especially holding him. Like you're trying to be tender with him. Like that's like when you two were a baby. It was like everyone was like, "Don't touch the baby, don't squeeze the baby." So it was cool though. It was awesome. That's nice.
What are some qualities that each of your kids have that you're proud of?
I say one of them, or this one, is very tender-hearted. She's she's a girly, which I love. I like my two oldest are sporty girls, but this one, like, she just chills. Like she's like the second mom. But hard work and that's like Alai and Tali and Paulo. They exemplify what hard work is. Just what they need to learn is just freaking listen. I think that's one thing that should be in there. Like, hey, you gotta do it the first time. But other than that, those are some of the qualities I love about my kids. That they work, they're tenderhearted, they love being around family oriented. I mean, that's what I like about my kids.
What are your favorite memories with your kids?
Oh man, I think the best memory for me was this last trip that we took to Hawaii.
Yeah, true.
How was that like? Like,
I was gonna ask about that. I'm glad we went back.
That was crazy. It's just like taking them back. They see it. Like, I remember driving from the airport to the first hotel we stayed at, and there were kids walking home without shoes, right? And they were like, "Dad, is this normal here?" It's like, that's normal. That's how we grew up. Is if you don't have anything, you're just grateful for what you have. And for me, it's like, for them experiencing that for the first time, it's big. And for them going to church, like we went to church there the first week we were there. They were all nervous going to class. They're like, "No, we're staying here." And then I just remember those little kids, all the primary kids are walking up to my kids, are like, "Hey, what's this? What's this?" They start building that relationship, right? And so once they build that relationship, and they're like, "Oh man, this is cool," they went to class with them. The kids are like, "No, we're not going. We're coming with us." And so it's just to see them, where we grew up, right? Like the parents where the dad grew up, and all your dads, and it's a blessing, because they're looking at kids out there just on the side, just grabbing fruits from the tree and just eating it. They're selling stuff on the side. Here, so we just take things for granted out here. And so that was the best experience for me, is taking my kids back, because I want them to see that it's growing up, it wasn't easy for us. Like, nothing was given to you every time, right? You have to earn everything that you get. You have to work for what you get, and so I want to take them back again, but hopefully the whole family goes, so that way we can experience all together as a whole family, right? Like,
me and Rayray have talked about this like so many times. Like,
yeah, we haven't. Awesome. We've never been. Well, I've been there when I was 1.
Yeah.
I just like how Salah doesn't. She's not going to know.
Yeah. She's not going to experience yet. But
until
it's like,
you go again.
For Paulo and the older ones, they're like, no. Like, for them, staying in the hotel was cool. Like, it was good, right? But like, I want them to experience staying in at a house, because for them, like, going there, right? Like when we went last time, it was like, "Oh, this is the last time on life." Like, no, that's not that. That's a hotel life. Like, you don't know what Samoan life is till you actually live it. Like, so I was just excited just to see, just to have them experience a glimpse of, what we had to grow up with. But that was probably the best experience with my kids. So
as they grow up and start getting older, what do you hope your kids take with them from you and Auntie Wet that you've taught them?
That's a good question. Shoot. I just hope that they see how hard we are trying. That it's not easy. It's always going to be bumps on the road when you're trying to provide for your family. And I just hope they understand that we're doing our best in everything that we're doing. Whatever happens, put God first and understand that everything will fall in place. So I think that's the most important thing that I hope, that we'll take from this. But,
And how has being a dad changed your life?
oh man, it's changed my life tremendously. I don't think there's a greater call than being a dad and being a mom, especially for my wife. And this is, a calling that's, I think it's, like when your kids leave, right? Like you hope that you've taught them everything, but at the same time you're like, no, because there's still going to be, right, things that they have to learn on their own, to grow. And I think those are good because you're learning as you grow. And so that's the main thing is whatever you do, especially for these kids, is I just want them to understand that they, we've tried, we're doing our best. And so that's it.
Okay, so we're headed into our last, I guess, little topic of your interview. What is your job
What is my
like?
job?
Like, what is it like?
What do you do on a day-to-day?
There we go. That's a better
Okay.
question.
As my work?
Yeah.
As work? Okay. So my day-to-day, right? So I leave here. I'm up at 5:30. I'm out the door at 5:45, 6. And then I get to school, go in and just get all my stuff done for 7:00 practice. So once 7:00 hits, I'm practice from 7 to 9. And then as soon as we're done with practice, we go into meetings. So we're in meetings from 9:30. Oh, well, we usually get a workout in, like coaches get a workout in, like an hour in. And then around 10:30, we meet as a defensive staff. And then we go pretty much game plan for the week. So we meet from 10:30 till 2:00 and just go over all the different situations, right? It's just first, second downs, third downs and of the week. And then 2:30, we have staff meeting. And then we have another meeting, kind of like a special team meeting at 3:00. And then from 3:30, we have position meetings. So I meet with my linebackers from 3:30 till like 4:30. And then we have walkthroughs. So as soon as we're done with walkthroughs, we're out of there like 5:30. Then from 5:30, 5:45 till sometimes the latest we've stayed is like 9:00, 10:00 at night, just to game plan more, right, for the next day of practice in the morning. But that's like day to day. That's like every day.
Like a full schedule.
Yeah, that's like Monday through Thursday. And then Friday morning, we usually practice early morning. And then we usually come home, get ready, get on the plane.
And then you guys are gone.
And then we're flying out of St. George to wherever we're going to. But it's pretty busy.
Yeah. He's a 30-minute break here and a 30
Yeah. Like if you don't manage your time, it's just going to be chaos. And so it's like time management has got to be on point. Got to be spot on.
What was the transition like from player to coach?
Player to coach was, let's see, I would say it was easy, right? But I wish I knew as much as I did as a player that I did now. Because you always hear players like, man, this guy is crazy. And then now you're a coach, like, man, I wish I knew all that when these coaches were teaching me, So, but no, it was easy. I think it was easy just because I can relate to the kids better as a coach too, because like, even the players are like challenging me to all these different things. And I'm like, dude, no. Like, you know how old I am? They're like, Coach, nah, you're only like 30 plus. I'm like, no. But it's good because I relate to the players pretty well, you know, and so for them it's just like for me, I think the best thing for like as a coach is building that relationship of trust with the players. Because once you build that, you can do whatever. Right? You can just say, "I run there back 20 times, you'll be good." So, but that's what I love. So,
What do you do to motivate your players?
so I do like every meeting. I will do like a short clip, you know, like a quote or just like a motivational movie that they have on there, like a clip. Those are the things that I do with them, and then I just have them expound on, okay, what do you think this is talking about? You know, like the quote's talking about. Like every week, like I'll have, like that's like every day in the meeting, you know, and then I give them a test, you know, with a big motivational like quote in the front of it, and a picture, like a warrior picture, you know, like, okay, what does this? Imagine yourself being a warrior. Okay, what does this quote mean to you? And so those are just little clips that I'm helping motivate them throughout the week. And it's just, there's times that kids come in, you know, and you just motivate them, you know, just telling them what their strengths are, you know, because sometimes they don't motivate themselves when they hear the weaknesses, right? It's like, oh, coach, like
they take it hard.
Yeah, they take it hard, and it's like, dude, listen, like these are your strengths. Okay, make it stronger, right? And then sometimes you have to be real with them. When you're real with them, that's like some players, like they'll break, and some player will rise to it. You know, and that's what you want. You know, it's like that's what you're like. Okay, this guy can handle. He cannot handle. so that's, you know, for me, it's like just being honest with them, you know, is the best motivator. So,
is there a player or players that you've coached that have made an impact on your life, and how?
I guess two players, right? So one is my nephew. I think it was hard for him to trust me at first, just because he sees me as an uncle instead of a coach. And so for me, it was like, you know, it's like, okay, how do I break this? How do I break this bond from being an uncle, you know, to Trace, you know? And I think that's like one of the hardest things. I think I saw it from him as well. You know, it's like, dang, he's my uncle, but he's like also my coach. You know, it's like for me, it's like when I think about it, it's like, I wonder if he's looking at me as an uncle right now, and I can't have that, right? Like on the field, like he's got to see me as a coach, you know. And so there's times like, dude, I kid you not, like I'm hard on him, you know, because I want the best out of him, you know. And then when he realized that, it's like, oh dang, he is my uncle, but he loves me, right? But as a coach, like he's not the same Misi as like in the coach.
You can't,
you know? Yeah, it's like I can't be the dude. I can't do this and that. You know, like I got to be your coach. And so, I think he realized that when it came to snow. I remember him like there's one practice that he was just like, I think it was after the snow, after the snow year that he was there, and he came here. And I remember him saying, dude, because there was a guy that I brought in from like Texas or something like that. And Trace was playing in the front of him. So that kid thought just because he was my nephew that I'm playing him, right? But I was like, dude, no. You know, and Trace was thinking that too. And hey, I'm playing because you're my uncle. It's like, no, you're doing things that he's not doing. You know, it's like, don't. And so when he came here, is when he asked me, it's like, hey, is that right? It's like, did you play me because it's like, no, you know, like I'm your uncle, but at the same time, I'm going to be the coach that's going to push you, right? Like if you're doing the things that I'm telling you to do, and those kids aren't doing it, then I'm going to trust you to be on the field. You know, I think he's one of those like players that I think that I built a relationship with, as got to know him better as a player and what he's capable of doing. You know, and another one was I think it was just Malaki. Malaki was one of those kids that was just like from Samoa, right? And I pushed him to like I don't think he's ever missed a practice. Like he would have injuries here and there, and he would always be out there. Just because he trusted, just because of the relationship that we had, it's like, hey, we grew up in the same place. Like, how to work. Like, we don't complain about anything. You just got to get it done.
Do it.
Yeah, just do it. And so those two, I think those are the ones that impacted me, right? That made me a better person, a better coach as well. Because I've seen how hard they take coaching, and I see that whatever they're doing is like, man, I'm doing this for myself, for you, and then so that's why I'm grateful for what they've done. And the thing about Trace too is the best thing that I learned was just being able to see what he was doing when he got hurt. When he got hurt here, he was like hiding from everything just because he was injured, right? Like he wasn't. He thought he was like, one time he got hurt, and then I took him into the room. He was a waiting room, waiting for the doctor. I remember just looking at him. I was like, listen, dude. He was crying. I was like, listen, this is not the end of it. Like you'll make it back. And just for him, just seeing him fighting through the whole year he was down and then come back and just finishing, that was the best part. Like that was the best thing about those two players is that they've impacted me. And I, like every time that I see that Malaki's calling up to follow up, is like, hey, what's up, dude? Like, and so all the kids that I've coached, like that graduated, like I was like, hey, coach, what's good? So it's good when you, like when they still following up with you. It's like that means that
you made an impact.
Yeah, made an impact on those kids. So, but those are the two.
What was it like when Grandpa passed for you?
That was rough. That was hard. Just because like I didn't have anybody else to go to. It felt like, because usually like with football stuff, I would go to him. Like he was the one that's like, all right, hey, what do I need to do? Like even when I was on a mission, like I was just emailing him like, hey, Dad, I'm getting sick. Like I don't know what's going on. He's like, are you drinking enough juice? I was like, orange juice? He was like, yeah. I was like, all right. So I just started drinking that. It's just like word of wisdom, right? It's just like those little things that he always talk about. It's like I don't have that, but I still feel it, and I go there. Like I think I went like 3 weeks ago, and it was just like you're there, right? But it's not the same.
Mm-hmm.
Like you just don't have that same feeling of talking to him in person. And so it's been hard for me. Like every year is I go there before the season. I'm like, hey, I need you to carry me throughout the season. Like I need you to keep me level headed because I lose it. Like I lose it sometimes in practice. And then everyone's like, dang, dude, like you're crazy, bro. So I was like, so most of those times, I just think back, like, what would that do? Like, it's like, they just say, hey, stay calm. Just be calm with it. How he is. Like, he'll just say one thing and it's like, oh, hell yeah. All right, that's all I need to hear. So I think that's what I miss is just that constant companionship of him. Just, for me to just go to him and just talk to him. That's the hardest. That was the hardest thing. Like, I go to Mom, right? But it's like, it's not the same. Mom just look at you like, nah, that's stupid. Like, yeah, you can't be doing that. So that's the hard thing.
What is something that you're most proud of in your life?
In my life?
No, your past life.
Oh, shoot. That's crazy. I don't know. Not just for like proud of myself, but it's like I'm proud of my kids, like my nieces, my nephews. I'm proud of what you guys been doing. Like everyone's so grown up. Like it's insane because I look at my kids. I'm like, dang, like all my nieces are graduated. Like they're out doing their own thing. Like Paul's a freshman, and so I'm like, okay, what's she gonna be doing? Like when she's done, So I'm like I'm proud of my family, like for what everyone's doing right now. Like I know everyone's struggling, right? Like struggle through life, whatever situation may be, right? But we, for some reason, we rise up and just freaking fight through it. You know, and that's for me, like that's what I'm proud of, because I know the Tupe strong. We gotta be. If we're not strong enough, then who is? You know, like no one's gonna help you out. Like you'll have friends, but most times your friends are not gonna be the ones that's gonna be pushing you through. So for me, it's like I'm happy for my family. I'm not proud. I'm not happy for whatever accomplishments that I have, right? Because all the accomplishments I have, it's just because of everyone in my family that's helped me out, right? Because I didn't accomplish that by myself. Like I accomplished it because my wife was there, nieces and nephews growing up, like your mom and dad helping me throughout. Like that's my success story, is my family. And so that's why I don't look at myself and be like, hey, I'm proud of this. Like I can't say that, because I mean, singing was doing my homework. Dad was doing my homework. Like everyone's helping out. Like that's what it comes down to. That's my family. So that's the proud moment.
Is there a moment in your life that you would want to relive or replay?
No, I don't think. I don't know. That's a tough question.
Yeah.
We were trying to send you the questions beforehand, but somebody doesn't like to reply.
That's a tough one, dude. What would you relive?
I mean, for some people, they like to relive their wedding day, or the first time they saw their significant other, or their
like
kid.
if they have like a regret, if they could like replay and then like redo it.
Yeah.
Really?
Or if they like just have something that happened, and they just want to say something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I wish the day that Dad passed away was opposite. That he would have made it through. I was in the hospital when he passed away. And when you hear, there's no pulse, there's nothing, right? You're like, oh shit, what else is there? It's like, I think for me, it's like, if I replay that and him coming back, I think that would have been awesome. But the first go around, that it happened, and I think that second one was harder, because it's like, dang, he really is not coming back, and none of my brothers knew. All they knew was, even my nieces, right? Like, no one knew until after, right? All you guys heard was probably, hey, Dad's on the way to the hospital right now. That was it. Grandpa's on the way. Like, no one, like, we all thought he was just going to be like, hey, they're going to get him back. Because I remember just that night, just like, I went home. We just left the house. Singy's like, hey, we just called the ambulance. Dad's up, responding right now. I was like, what? I was just there. He's like, no, I'm serious. So I walk up there, get in the ambulance, get down there. We get to the hospital, and I'm the only one sitting there. And these guys are just putting everything on him. I'm like, holy smokes. Like, I wish it would have been the other way around, right? Like, relive it and say, hey, you're coming back. Yeah, let's go. But I don't know, it's hard, right? Like, you don't know what God wants, right? So, but I think that's one moment I would want to relive or replay it back.
Yeah.
But with a positive, outcome on there.
What are your hopes and dreams for your future?
It's weird because I'm like broken up in two different places right now, right? Like, one, my dream is to move my family back to Samoa, and build out there, and just have my kids like worry free about what's going on in the U.S. Second one is making sure that I want to make it to like a Power 5 school with the job that I'm in right now. Power 5 schools are like big Pac-12 schools, like SEC schools, as a defense coordinator or head guy. And that's like, those are the two goals that I have, right? But I'm torn in between two right now.
Because it's two totally different
Two
directions.
exactly, right? Like, okay, I'll be stable if I get this job here in the U.S. If I go back home, what am I going to do to support for my family, right? Like, there's not a lot of jobs there that you can stay stable with, you know, living out there in Samoa. But at the same time, it's like those are two different, like you said, right? Like two different worlds that you're living in. Okay, what do you want right now? And I think it's there, but I'm gonna freaking fight for it. Like, I don't care what's gonna happen. You know, like, I want to make sure, like, if I get a big job, I want to make sure my siblings, right, my brothers are taken care of, mom's taken care of. Like, I don't want my brothers to freaking struggle with anything, right? I don't want mom to struggle with anything. And then, so that's like right now, it's hard for me to help out when I don't have much, right? Like, and when I do have much, like when I do have enough, like, I'm like, hey, let's get it done. You know, let's get it going. Well, no one's struggling right now. And so that's like my goal, and that's my hopes and dreams coming forward.
Well, I wasn't expecting that. That was good. I don't know what I was expecting, but I don't know. That was
Yeah. It's like, for me, it's like, 'cause I remember Dad when he left, right? He's like, hey, everyone needs to get closer. Everyone's living their own dream right now. Like, but the best feeling is when we all get closer, right? When we stay together, like live closer to each other, because now you're supporting each other, right? Like, I can't help when someone lives all the way up north. I can't be physically, you know, I physically can't be there. For me, it's like just making sure that everyone's stable financially. That's the best part. Everyone probably wishes that, right? But I don't care what happened, what I need to do to get it, I'm gonna get it. And when I get it, it's gonna be fun. Like, I'm like, hey, bros, you guys are moving here now. Like, we're getting done. Like, we're not freaking sitting back and waiting for the cops to stop by, and, you know, like, we're gonna party it up. Like, so that's my goal right now.
Okay, so one more question, and it's gonna backtrack like a little bit. We've heard a lot of stories about fights and stuff that you guys have gotten in together. What is like one that like pops up in your mind every time you think about it?
About the brothers?
Yeah.
You probably heard the Weber State fights.
We've heard like quite a few different ones. Like, they haven't said like exactly where. They just told us.
This was in, like, I wasn't there. But this is the story that was, well, no, I was there. Well, there's two stories. So one story is at the flag football tournament. And I'm in high school, and I'm playing with Veen, Jay, like everybody, all the older ones. So this guy is pushing me over. You know, it's like, I'm this little dude just running around. If this dude pushes me over, the next thing I see is just like Jay and Dorian and freaking Veen are like, bam, boom, boom, boom. I was like, what the heck? But they called in Jay to court, because they took it to court. They called Jay in, and when Jay got in there, and the guy was like, oh, but that's not even him. He wasn't even it. But it was Veen that was supposed to be in there. So they got the wrong guy in. So that was one of the fight stories. And one of the stories that was there was, I think it was Junior, Dorian. Was it Dorian? Dude, I think it was all of them.
He said everybody
And
was
singing.
there.
I guess we were a gym, and they got in a fight with some guys that were like calling him out or something like that. They said singing was like the cheerleader, like, yeah, let's go, like on the side. And everybody else was fighting. Singing was like, dude, people were just dropping like flies over there. Because I think it was Jay, Dorian, Veen, and Junior. Those are the ones that was in that scat at the time. And so they were just, and like one of the African American guys came up and was like, yeah, you too, big guy. He was talking to Junior, and Junior got the 45 like it was like a 5 pound, just waving it around. But they got I think they got escorted out by the cops in that one. But there's some crazy fights though. For some reason, the fights are always looking for us, and we're just there. Yeah. Because there's one with me and Singy and Dorian too. Oh, was it Dorian? Yeah, Dorian and Junior. So we're coming down the light, the Riverdale light. Come from the house, the terrace house.
Uh-huh.
So you come down and the Riverdale main road.
And then there's like the gas station.
Oh,
the
Yes, gas station on the left. So we're turning left, and this car just freaking runs the red light. We're green, about to go, and he runs the red light, and he looks at us, and he flips us off. And all of a sudden, we're like, all we see, me and Singy look at was Junior and Dorian just look at each other, and it was over, dude. It was like, so they just freaking took off. And they're like, what's back there? Water bottles. They're me and Singy like just giving them stuff. And then we're driving and just chucking stuff. And we got to I think it was like, there's a gas station. And then you go down the gas station, back road. There's like a back house in the back there. And this guy, I think Dorian's driving. He pulls up. He goes over the driveway, goes over the what do you call mailbox thing. Mm-hmm. He's like, what the hell are you doing? And me and Singy like, oh, bro, is this real? Like, it was crazy. But the crazy thing is we're on the way up, and the cop car was coming down. I don't know how the cop car found out, but the cop car followed us on the way. And I think that he was like putting his lights on and off to the car that we were chasing. So when we got there, the guy was like, the cop pulled right behind us. And he's like, this guy's flipping us off. When he's flipping us off, when he's running a red light. And so this guy was like, man, you guys got to calm down. So we're like, bro, me and Singy in the back, like,
we're just here.
We're just here. We're watching it. This is fun. So it's been crazy. Like, there's some crazy stories out there.
That's so funny.
What was Singy's story?
What was his story? It was the gym one.
Gym one,
Yeah,
huh?
the
See,
one.
it's crazy, dude.
But his story he didn't say he was a cheerleader.
Yeah,
he cheered it on. He doesn't say he was egging it on.
Yeah, he said it. Yeah, Bean said it was. He was sitting on the side. 'Cause I don't think he was fighting anybody. So
that is so funny.
Yeah.
What brings you joy in your life? We know that your wife and kids do, but like other than your wife and your kids, what brings you joy in your life?
Positivity is one, other than my family. Just winning, because we've been in a slump for such a long time at the school, right? So it's like, and even with anything, right? Just winning just makes it so much better. That's one. Just staying positive, I think for me, that's what it is. What brings me joy is, like, without family, without my kids, like, that's it. Like, I don't know.
You can say your kids.
Yeah, my wife, kids, like my mom, like my nephews, my nieces, like literally, like everything for me is all about family. Mm-hmm. Like I can't go anywhere if I don't have my family there with me, right? Like even like I was going on the Samoa trip with my family, my wife and kids. It was crazy because I call my mom like Dorian them, Jay them were on there. They're like, dude, I need you guys to come because it's freaking different than what it is from, it's like, so they're like, well, let's go in the summer now. I was like, this next summer?
Like, are you guys
yeah, so they're like, they want to come, like, we're planning it, right? But it's like, it's hard because if you, like, what we decided was, like, we just gotta, if you pay for your ticket, like, it's a must go now, right? And so that's what we did. We're like, all right, hey, here's the date. Yeah, let's freaking go. And we're like, oh shit,
it's coming.
You look at the bag, you're like, oh. But hey, I don't care. Like, we're going, But it's like, you just, once you do it, like, you're gonna feel, okay, this is a must go right now, then. And so it's because I remember calling mom, and they're like, well, there's a lot of land over there. And when we got there, we saw the land, right? And it's like, dude, we can build like anything up there. And so it's cool.
We can do what me and Rayray have dreamt of since we were little and build a house that's 25 stories and everybody can live together.
Everybody has a story.
Has their own story. Slides going down the sides.
A pool on the very bottom.
Dude, you just gotta
so
do like those motels. It's just like a U shape.
Oh yeah.
there you
Okay,
go.
hey, this is your corner. That's your corner.
Mhm.
Everyone gets one. It's so fun though. We just gotta make it happen.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that would be like such an awesome trip for everybody.
dude,
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah.
Because grandma was supposed to come, right? But she got
Mhm.
sick,
Yeah.
Right.
and so we had a meeting.
Mhm.
Like, hey, do we want her to go? Like, no,
Yeah.
there's no way. What happens if
Right.
she gets sick over there again?
Mhm.
And so we just got to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Because the tickets were, because I'm trying to figure out if it's cheaper to go from, because my buddy just left like 2 weeks ago. Like they flew to Sydney, and then Sydney to Samoa. But the ticket from Sydney to Samoa was only $400.
When from Hawaii, it's a lot more than
Oh,
that, huh?
dude, from Hawaii, it's like, I think it doubles. But I think it is cheaper to go from, but I don't know how much the tickets are
Mm-hmm.
from, I think, San Francisco or Las Vegas to Sydney.
Mm-hmm.
And I think probably like $1,200 or something like that. And so with the $400 ticket from Sydney, it's like, that's really cheap.
Yeah.
Because we paid, with all our kids, I think it was like $6,000.
Round trip or one way?
Yeah, round trip. Like from where? Vegas to Hawaii,
Mm-hmm.
and then Hawaii to Samoa,
Right.
and then Samoa back. I was like, holy smokes. But it was fun though. We have to get it done.
Yeah. We have to get everybody their passports is what we gotta do.
Do you guys have your passports?
I know.
No? You guys gotta get it.
Dude, I haven't even changed my name since I got married. I can't get in there, bro. I just can't be bothered. I can't be bothered. Jaden's always like, "You're not gonna change your name, are you? You're stuck to Tupe. You're never gonna change your name." I was like, "I will.
Eventually.
I will.
It will happen.
I'll
I
change
promise.
one ID first. One ID at a time. That's cool though.
Yeah. So, is there anything that we didn't ask you that you thought we were going to ask you about?
No? Those are pretty good questions though.
Thanks. We've spent so
Hey,
long.
no, that's like, that's, you spill the beans in a lot of
Yeah.
those things.
Oh, yeah.
That's good though.
And then, is there anything that you want to ask us?
I mean, like without going too deep, because
You guys have yours too.
yeah. we're gonna have one. Our second question was, what do you want to hear on a future podcast?
Ooh.
On one of the episodes.
It'd be awesome if we get some genealogy,
Ooh.
Okay.
like of grandma and grandpa, right? Like everyone's, your mom's side. Okay, we're just so we know, right? We know
Right.
how far, where we all, like, where's your family from? Like, where the roots at?
Mm-hmm.
I think that'll be cool.
Ooh.
Okay.
I like that one. Nobody's given us that one yet,
Yeah.
so that's a good one.
Yeah.
Like,
We can do a roots episode.
yes.
Ooh,
Hey,
that's
remember
good.
our last family? You guys were young at the time.
To last.
The reunion.
Because the last one was here in St. George.
Yeah, the family reunion one, and we
In
had
Hawaii.
the roots shirt.
Mhm.
Oh, the one in Hawaii.
Yes.
Yeah. And Uncle Tifa has that.
Exactly.
That thing.
The whole thing, huh?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That would be awesome to
Mm-hmm.
get off of that.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, family stories from,
dude.
well, I don't know how far back we can go.
Well, the best thing to do, I think, in another episode that you can do is just interviewing grandma.
Yeah, we're gonna do that at the end.
Yeah.
Well, at the end, we want to get all the brothers together
Yeah.
And do it with
And do
all
a
of
big
you guys
one?
together. Like
And
on
then,
a table.
yeah,
And just all
yeah.
us
So you guys
and
can all hash out your drama
your anger.
You know what's
and do the
awesome?
last fight once and for all.
That'll be good too. Is who is left in there? Uncle Tiva, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Uncle Tiba, Uncle Fangoka.
Uncle Fangoka.
See, like
Yeah,
that.
we can get them.
Like those
We
two
can.
will be pretty cool to. Those are awesome. It's like just to see where they've been, huh?
Mm-hmm. How does it make you feel to have
Dude, that is
26-year-olds?
crazy. Yeah, as niece. That's crazy.
Okay, everybody, thank you for watching this episode. Next week we'll have Uncle Singy.
Woo! Thank you, everybody,
for
for watching.
Tune in next
Stay
week.
tuned.
And comment down below if he should grow his hair out again.
Ooh. If he looks better with or without the mustache.
Comment down below if you should shave.
No.
10 likes, and he'll shave it all off.
This is my signature right now. Everyone's like, hey, coach.
Oh, okay. Anyways, they're college kids. They're nothing.
Yeah.
You don't mean
Hey, you're married. College kids right now, they're all about the trend. You know?
The trend.
Well, you gotta have that
Travis
mullet.
Kelce trend.
That mullet.
No, everybody has the stash. I started the stash, and everyone saw the team. Like,
Oh.
stash it up. Trendsetter.
Okay, hashtag stash it up.
Stash it up. Yes. Thank you. Oh,
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Uncle Misi. Bye, everybody.
This is awesome. You guys